Sounds good.
Okay, we're unmuted, and then we'll be on screen in a second. Where are you? You disappeared. I tried to make you appear, but you aren't there. I'm here. Hello. My colleague, with these Zoom calls, sometimes your colleagues, there's all these technical difficulties. It was my fault because I was not on the right screen. Give me 1 second. Do you see your colleague now? Look at it. Oh, look.
Good
Why
evening.
can't I?
Good
There
evening.
we go. We did it. Hello. Welcome to the
Hello.
C2 laboratory. We are in the athletics wing of the C2 laboratory. This is our experimental gymnasium. As you can see, we have the brightest minds and brightest bodies out there on the
thickest thighs.
They're what?
The brightest minds and the thickest thighs,
And
as
the
we say
thickest
in
thighs.
this
The brightest
this wing.
minds and the thickest thighs. As we say. Yeah. I mean, we all have access to this. I've seen all of you out here doing lunges, stretches, cartwheels,
Drinking your Gatorade, drinking out of those big hoses that they would like to the PVC pipe at the track meet where it just shoots out fountains onto the track, makes it all wet.
Yeah, we love drinking out of that. Yeah. Ours has Sprite. We have Sprite in ours.
We have a huge Sprite budget.
So yeah, I wish we had a Sprite sponsorship. That would make my heart flutter. But
but we're paying full price for it.
Yeah, no, we're just paying a lot for Sprite. Yeah, so anyway, this is the gym where we do experiments, and our recent big project has been cracking the case on football. As we all know, football is rife with problems, wouldn't you say? Sheeta's our consultant. This is an out-of-house consultant that we've brought in on the problem.
Yes, I'm coming in live via NanoCast, which is why there's an ambient kind of cloud of nano machines in the atmosphere. Is why that is. But yeah, I was brought in because Doctor, what epithet do you
Please,
prefer
I'm a
at the
research
beginning?
assistant. I didn't go to school for that long.
You're an RA?
I'm an RA.
I'm
also the
the whole place.
I'm the RA at the dorm as well. So when all these guys get tuckered out and they go back to their dorm, they have to talk to me and stuff. I have to make sure they make curfew and stuff. A resident advisor.
Are they allowed to bring girls over?
Sometimes I let it slide.
What was the most recent write-up that you had to do? What was some problem?
This guy in the middle. Yeah, you can't bring weed in, and I keep catching these guys reefing, and I always let it slide because I don't want to send them to jail. So yeah, I'm putting my job on the line to make sure these guys can get out on the field. Yeah, as Super Jazz says, it comes from the earth. Yeah. Oh no, you've frozen. Goodbye. So we're here, in the experimental gymnasium. Where'd she go? I really needed her help today. But we're gonna ask. Yeah, hole in one. Yeah, that's what we say here. She's almost back. Look at it. Look at her. She's back.
I'm sorry, but I got a fucking nano problem. Somebody walked by outside with a magnet, and everything just went fucking.
Those
berserk.
nanobot emails. We all know how that goes.
Someone needs to invent a better technology.
You would think, yeah. Okay. We're gonna get down to brass tacks because our time is very valuable.
It's true.
Yeah, with our salaries, you really want us to be on task. So we need to make a list of the properties of football, the things that can be improved. What we wanted to do, me and my consultant here, was we wanted to make a list of all of the different vectors for improvement. Not necessarily what's wrong with football, but the stuff they wear, the balls they use, the field they're on, the way they play, I guess. It'll be fun to do this while not knowing.
Structure.
Yeah,
the sponsorships, the whole just kind of milieu. I think this is not going to be comprehensive in a way that maybe we would like, but it will be an introduction to, I think, a cultural project that we will all engage with on some level.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, and football too will not be built in a day. So
can't be.
It can't be. Well, do you want to give us your little presentation first, or should we make the list first and then?
why don't we start out now? You said that we don't want to just list our football grievances, but I feel like to start out, to have a strong kind of foundation for where to move forward, we do have to look at kind of our history with the sport. And I think it might be valuable to just simply make a list of the things that we'd like to alter at first, maybe.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. So I guess we'll pose it to the chat. We'll bring up our whiteboard, our
Hmm.
very high tech
Oh,
whiteboard equipment. I'm working on it. Yeah. Do you want your whiteboard? Do we want to just use my whiteboard?
why don't yeah, we can do your whiteboard, or
Okay.
if you wanted to be in between, I could also just take notes. It's however you want to do it.
All
I'm
good.
just a consultant for this.
Right, right. Yeah. This is my project. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so you want more swords, less commercials? I think we can do that. Here,
Okay.
let me get plugged in. Yeah, hey, you type it out. We're gonna use your whiteboard.
Okay.
Get my whiteboard out of
Okay.
here. Where is yours? There's your whiteboard. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Okay, less commercials. I think everyone can agree. Um, Super Jazz says that his team isn't good. Less
Okay.
standing around. Absolutely. Hi, Arby. Hi, hello, everyone in the chat. Also, thank you for being here.
Hello, chat.
Yeah, more good teams. Definitely.
Hmm.
Stein says that he wants to reinvent the ball. Yeah, more good
Okay.
teams and fewer bad. Well, I don't know. I don't want zero bad teams. Bad teams are an important part.
Right.
Um,
Okay. So this is a
but you
caveat.
didn't
I'm
write
looking
that.
at the
I was just riffing. You know. Um, More screaming. Okay. Someone said more perfect. Maybe that's
Okay.
something we can work on. Well, these are the mechanisms with which we'll make it more perfect.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, maybe more catchphrase. I know in rugby they have to say certain things. Like when you catch the ball, you have to say "mark" sometimes, and I don't know why.
Okay.
More catchphrases. Great, great. Multi-ball. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of ball properties to change. I feel like that's high. Okay, okay. Constant clock. I like that. More like other sports. It is the weirdest sport, probably. Um, Cursed Synth says wants the whole city to be part of the team. Okay, I'm into that. Community aspect, maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a very strong list already. The chat
Hmm.
just blew that out of
What
the
was the one
water.
about
Thank
the
you.
clock?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there. Constant clock, like in soccer, like the clock never stops.
Okay. Great.
Bigger boys. Okay. Do we want to let girls play? What do we think? Maybe we degender football. Let me out there. They won't. They
Can we be out there?
dogs allowed. Ain't nothing in the
Okay.
rule
See,
book.
this is the slippery slope. This is what they
Right.
argued with gay marriage. As soon as
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna let people get married to each other, then dogs are gonna be playing football. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I mean, I as much as it would be like a step backwards to have like a football league only for gay people, I would love to be in an all gay football league. um, yeah, we like the whole city thing. Computer league, bug league, fantastic.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah. What do we think about the violent aspect? Now I'm gonna suggest some things. And I want to hear what people think about. Like, do
Okay.
you think the blood sport aspect of football should be embraced or removed? See, yeah, I think I agree with Cheesy Lard. Also, welcome Cheesy Lard. I also think it's not violent. I think we need to embrace the blood sport aspect of it. Um, right. Yes. As long as everyone's consenting to it, I think it can be as violent as it wants. But that's just me. That's just me. You know. Uh,
Hmm.
Katanas, good equipment. There's lots of equipment issues. What do you think about the helmets they wear? Do you think they should wear cooler helmets? They're already pretty cool, if you ask me. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's lots of considerations. What do you think about the surface they play on? Should they play on a rectangle still? Do you think we should play like in like a half pipe or a bowl kind of situation? Uh, Arena regulations, great.
I think from my personal experience being an experimental sport consultant is that there's a lot of excitement to be had in a diversity of arenas depending on the location. So we could set parameters
Completely
about what
agree.
variables can change, but yeah, I think that these we don't have to set with one kind of space.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I love that. I love when there are geographical variations in a sport. Like
Hmm.
different baseball fields have different perimeters.
Exactly.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I mean this is a huge list already. Anything on
It's
your
pretty
mind?
enormous.
Yeah, anything on your mind, Sheeta, that isn't on here already?
As a consultant, I am simply here to interface with the community and facilitate the development of this sport. So I think all of this is perfect, and I'm absolutely just chomping at the bit, getting excited to iterate off of all these ideas.
Oh yeah, you can't wait to circle back. You are.
Circle back, touching base,
Mm-hmm.
Slack notifications, um,
Yeah, yeah.
interfacing, one-on-ones,
Breakout
conference
rooms,
room,
one on ones.
breakout
Love it.
room, conference room.
One pagers,
Yeah, lunch, company hummus,
company
push
hummus.
notification.
Great, love it. What about an all hands? You want to be in an all hands?
I need there to be an all hands moment. This is kind of an all hands moment right now.
I think so. Yeah, all hands on deck. Everybody. A trust
Hmm.
fall. Um, okay. All right. So where are we going from here? We've got this huge list. Do we just break them down? What? How do you?
So
Please.
no, we're well, okay. So I think that there's a lot of items that we can just kind of start developing immediately, and these are kind of the sexier items. We're talking about, the inclusion of swords, definitely understanding, what kind of instrument are we doing the game with the ball. I mean, obviously, this is just an endless quest for perfection. So this is going to be kind of a redundant to list, but absolutely is going to be a part of all the stuff we do. I think the equipment and arena are two big areas that we can just start really digging down and sinking our teeth into right immediately. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, do you have any thoughts about like different helmets or arena regulations? Do you want to start with the ball? Do you want to start with helmets? What do
I
you think?
think I think it all starts with the ball, if I'm going to be honest with you. And I think this is definitely an element that everyone can understand and engage with. But I think in order to understand where we're trying to move in the future, we need to understand our past. And as an experimental sports consultant and analyst, I've had many opportunities to study the kinds of lineages, heritages, and pedigrees of sports. And a large area of study has been in our understanding of ball. So I think that right now I'd love to take you all through an introduction to ball heritage
Take it
and where we
away.
ended up specifically with football. And you could go ahead and cut out my toolbars,
Okay.
and
Okay. All
we
right.
could
I
just turn
wasn't sure how
ourselves.
big you were going. Okay.
Yeah, no, let's
Take it
let's
away.
make it easy to look at here. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
great. So, this is, of course, we're just talking about the lineage of football, and where that ended up. This is not, we're not looking at like world balls. This is mostly kind of a center on Western ball. So the way that the Western ball first developed was with the first ball, and that is most known in most texts as the philosopher's balls. Because these were the balls that the Greeks used after spending days in the spa together, philosophizing, sharing ideas. They would go out in the field and they would huck these around at each other. These philosophers' balls, and this lasted for a long time until they decided, hey, what if we broke the ends off and made it a little bit easier to play with each other? And from there, we got the bocce ball. And the bocce ball was used to smash other balls together because they decided, hey, why don't we break all the balls off? And it became quite fun when they were hucking all of the balls they broke off into piles. Hey, why don't we make a little sport about it? And so the bocce ball came to be.
About what year was
And
that?
then this was about 300.
I'm sorry. You were doing so good.
This is
Roll it. Roll it.
300. This is about 380. And so from that sport, they had a bunch of these ends all in a pile and made a little fun game out of that. But then they also had a lot of extra middle bits. And from there, they decided they could attach them to each other and make a sport about hitting them with sticks. And then that became croquet. And all this was done out of doors, out in the field, out in the balls field. And then from here, we had kind of the first kind of offshoot. And that is where we got the largest ball. This is several centuries later. Croquet and bocce ball made up of most of human sports for about 500 years. And then once you got into the 1100s, then you got the bowling ball, which is the largest ball. And I think one of the more important balls of history because it was also a dunce's ball. You didn't have to be a sportsman. You didn't have to be very smart. You just had to have the need to throw a big ball a distance and hit some stuff with it. And that's why it has had its lasting power and is still around today. And the second offshoot was kind of the opposite of the bowling ball, where we have the pool ball. And that was the first cool ball. Easy to remember, the pool ball is the cool ball. And this was also, the implements were used in the bowling ball, which is where you hit the implements with the ball. But the pool ball sophistication of using an implement to understand trigonometry in the real world. It was definitely an academic tool, a mathematical tool for illustrating the way that physics was, manifested in the real world.
I know.
And then from there, we had the golf ball, which was later named the golf ball for reasons that are inconclusive. So if we go back, that's kind of the first dead end branch. Obviously, we didn't end up with the football there, but I think that a lot of these elements ended up with where we find the football today.
And was that a
The
geographical? Like, is that why is that split off from this tree, the other tree that we're about to get to?
It has to do with kind of the idiosyncrasies of the people who engaged with it and the philosophy of what it was used for. Because a lot of it, like on this first kind of tree here, it was all about kind of it eventually ended up as kind of a physics based situation. Whereas like others, it's based off of like man to man. It's you versus another man, with a ball being a vehicle for your engagement with them.
Right.
It's just social. That's exactly the right way to put it. It was social ball. So the first leg of the social ball, the tree here, started with the baseball. It's one of the oldest balls. And then from there, from baseball, there was an idea that like, hey, we can start engaging with our children with this kind of ball. And so they made a wiffle ball, which is a child's ball. It's not as heavy. It's not as scary. It's fun to say. And it doesn't break. And dogs don't like to get a hold of it and eat it. It's harder for dogs to eat. It was very easy for baseballs to get eaten by dogs. Whereas wiffle balls, they were made of hard plastic. This was also the first thing to be made with hard plastic, and that was in, I want to say, the year 1500, when there was a huge there was a huge plastic vein that was found in Italy, and they mined it to make wiffle balls.
Was that the first use of hard plastic, do you think?
That was the first use of hard plastic, and then the second use of hard plastic was children's car seats, but that wasn't until, I want to say, like 2009. So then, from the baseball, there was this idea that like, hey, we have these large teams. Why don't we make this a more intimate ball experience? And from there, we got the tennis ball, and that was the first gay ball. So on this side, there was a lot of gender and sexuality being explored through the use of balls. So we had the first gay ball, which is, it was just extremely popular with people who like to suck each other's dicks. And from there, we got the softball, which was one for the ladies, because the ladies really didn't have a ball, for 2,000 years.
So the ladies couldn't use these other balls, right?
The ladies were, I wouldn't say they couldn't use them, but like people like you and me, we just didn't have this social access to them.
Right.
It was taboo, which kind of made these ball sports a little bit sexy because of the taboo. But the softball really was a moment in history for I guess the advancement of just the acceptance that this wasn't a taboo anymore. So off of the first gay ball, we have another kind of gay ball, which is the racquetball, that we don't know a lot about. We've seen that there's a lot of people playing racquetball, but we don't know how to talk to them, and we don't really understand the rules of what they're doing. So this is kind of like a dead end only at this point in time.
It's like a
but
crypto
I'm sure
ball.
that it's a crypto ball, yeah, but I'm sure that there are a number of branches that we simply don't know yet, because of a social barrier to it. And then from here, from tennis ball, we also have the ping pong ball, which is a smaller ball, but it's done. This is for an indoor arena, and is also the second dunce's ball. The first dunce's ball, as you remember, being the bowling ball, and the second dunce's ball being the ping pong ball. That you could just get any old schmuck to hold a little guy in his hand and just kind of whap it back and forth with each other. You could be drunk, you could be high, you can be really smart, or you could be pretty dumb to do it. And I think that, yeah, so this is kind of, as you can see, we have intellect and physics, we have gender and sexuality, and then we have a third path.
A
And
third
this
path.
is this a third path, and this is like the true sports path. A lot of these can be said to be games, can be said to be activities,
Mm-hmm.
but this third, more robust path, is, I think, the true sports path, and that started first with
Okay.
volleyball. So as you remember, we had the philosopher's ball, we had the bocce ball, and then now from there we had the volleyball, where people started throwing them, bocce balls at each other. Like, hey, what if we threw it at each other? What if we slapped it around? What if we added a net? Because we have textiles now, so let's try to integrate that with our ball activities. So we have volleyball, and like, let's take our shirts off. Let's have a good time with each other,
Let's
and they
take.
did, and that was
I know. Sorry.
volleyball. And from there, no, did you have a volleyball experience?
I've definitely taken my shirt off and had a good time with all the lads.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
Hmm.
coming of age thing to go down to the sand pit. Who among us has not been to
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
sand pit?
I have many memories that I'm not going to share with being in the sand pit.
Right.
Um, so from there, we also had, from here, I guess the most important link of balls was from volleyball to soccer ball. And it's important because the soccer ball became the world's ball. There's not a place on earth that we have found, that we have discovered, that doesn't have a soccer ball in it. Um, and it's because it was the perfect game to do with each other. There, you could do it pretty much anywhere. There was a lot of gravel pits that then got turf laid over them. You could do it in sand, you could do it in dirt, you could do it on a mountain, you could do it in the Arctic. There's no place that you can't do a soccer ball together. And from there it was an interesting shift, because as more money got poured into soccer ball, people started trying to iterate on, like, okay, we have a bunch of different balls. What if we use them for something different? What if we put them on like an engine based mode of transportation? And so a lot of people who developed soccer ball then started developing a different kind of ball, and that was a racing ball. And some people still call it racing ball. You and I might call it a racing wheel, to go on a car, to go fast and fight each other for speed on paved roads. Um, and then, looking back up here, we have this from the sexy ball split to basketball, which still remains a very popular sport. And then I think that now from there we can understand what got us to the football, which is the world's newest ball. And though it's very old, it still remains the world's newest ball because of its innovative shape and also the date. The date is really important to remember for things being new. So the football is interesting because it takes, the dunce-ish nature, or dunce-ish accessibility of the ping pong ball, with the true sportsman attitude of a basketball, and the money and sponsorships of racing balls to get us to football, where we are today. So I think now that we understand its heritage, we can understand, what are the elements we can change moving forward? How further can we innovate the newest ball, the football? So yeah, that's all I have as far as history. So that now we can just kind of start iterating off of those ideas.
Absolutely. No, I feel so much more enlightened on why the balls are the way they are. I really just
Mhm.
assumed. I thought that they just existed out there. Like maybe I thought we discovered them instead
A lot
of.
of people do.
Yeah, right. Well, with all of this in mind, what do we think could change about the football when we think of history? Well, also, does the chat have any questions before we start making a
Yeah, I'd
new?
love to address
Like,
if anybody needs
have any
clarification.
questions for our guest speaker? We'll let him cook. We'll let him cook. So do you immediately have any edits you would make to the football? I really like those
You
footballs that
know,
have fins on them.
hmm
One
See, this
question we
is
have in the
good.
chat is: are the graphics to scale? Are they all the actual sizes of the balls?
They can be, depending on how big your computer screen is. You can really
You can get a football
get
the
up
size of
close.
a football
You can
size
get a
picture of a
football. I would
football.
say this is about football size. It is to me because of the screen. I'm like, yeah, it might not be to you, and you might have to hold it really close to your face for it to be actual size.
Right. I hope that was helpful for you. Um,
Yeah.
so the chat is saying spikes, wings, points,
Okay.
good things. I guess we can start listing these out. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make your whiteboard smaller, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
put a white. I'm gonna use my whiteboard to draw a football. Well,
That's a great idea.
you can write down the things.
I will.
Good, good, good. Okay, okay. Where am I? Oh no, there we go. Okay, great. Yeah. So I'm just gonna start drawing what I think is my interpretation of what everyone's saying. Oh no, can everyone still hear me? Testing, testing.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. My computer made it sound like it disconnected. I don't know what it did. Okay, so spikes, fins, wings. John Elway, don't know who that is. Two
Mhm.
hemispheres joined together. That's like the classical philosophical definition of a ball, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, as we all know.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so my base. First, we need a good football color for our background. We're gonna use a nice green, like the green of the turf that we all know and love, which could change. You know, I've seen some blue turf
Mhm.
before. Maybe that's something we can think about. What do you think? What's your favorite color of a football field? Should it all be one color? Should it be camouflage? Should it be like a Bape hoodie? What do you think? Should they play on Bape turf? I need your answer.
I think it might be hard to look at for Babe Turf, but I think that there's a lot. And see, this is the thing where it might depend on location
Okay,
for the
right.
color. And yeah, maybe in Tallahassee you play on an orange field, and maybe in every field in Vermont it is mauve or taupe.
Ooh, mauve, taupe. You're not saying those right. One of those I think it's mauve. Just so you know. But
But
you're the expert. I'm just a humble research assistant. Um,
mhm.
okay, so we're gonna draw the football. I think liquid. Okay, okay. Maybe it's stored in a cup. Maybe they're running around with a chalice. Oh
Mhm.
no, it's very hard to draw. Um, this is the what is it called when they win the Stanley Cup? Maybe they're running around with the trophy they so desire. And inside of it is the ball, and the ball
Uh-huh.
can be more of an idea then, and maybe geographically it could change. I don't know. This is okay. We're gonna start over. It didn't work. Hold on.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so I don't think it makes sense for it to be a cup. I think it probably should be more of one object versus two objects. Uh,
Mhm.
what is the chat saying? What does the chat think? The trophy is inside the
So
ball. Okay, okay.
I'm
Do we still like the oblong shape? I guess that's where I'll start. Maybe it should
I think that
be,
that's a really good place to start.
yeah. Maybe it should have hard edges. I feel like that would embrace the blood sport kind of thing. Maybe it's the same
Mhm.
as, okay, I think I can draw it now.
Okay.
I had to let my juices cook, and I think, okay, I got to start over. I'm picturing, I don't know how to draw it. I'm not good enough at drawing. I'm picturing like two pyramids joined at the base. So it's like a very
Okay.
sharp, kind of similar image.
Right.
Kind of like
Like
so.
kind of like that.
Yeah, I think this gives us a very strong base to work from in that it looks like
Mhm.
it'd be really painful to throw and catch. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I don't know. And then from here, do you think it should have wings, fins, hooks, maybe like a hook hole to put a hook in it for some reason? I think that would be cool. Like if you had like a
Okay.
weird object over here to attach your hook into. There's not any
Would
hooks in
that be
football, but
well? not in football one,
Right.
but this is football two.
Right. Okay, so what
Um,
we're going to do actually is we're going to have a bunch of different, like we're going to do this, but then we're just going to copy and paste it
mm,
so that we
mhm.
have it, but we've also got a new one right here that it doesn't have it. So we can
It's a
iterate a
second
lot.
one.
You love iteration.
Yeah, I love iterate. I iterate. Iterate.
I know. Um yeah, okay. The chat says you can hang it on the hook when you're not playing. I like that. It's useful. You can carry it on your carabiner, like your keys. Uh I have drawn a kunai. It does look like a kunai. It's a really big kunai. I don't know. What are you thinking, Sheeta?
I'm thinking like with the hook idea, like what if we had there was an idea about like swords, and if we're having hook holes on it, like it could end up being that one position has a big long like rod with a hook on the end, and
Okay.
that could be a way for you to get it down the field. If someone hooks it on the end of your rod, and then it's your job to kind of carry it down as one would with a lantern, make like if you're a monk at the nighttime through a forest, to get it down the field that way.
What do you think that position would be called? The hook man?
Like the hook man, the shepherd,
The shepherd?
the
Okay.
the dog catcher, because it's kind of like
The
a
dog
big
catcher? I like that.
rod.
The
Yeah.
dog catcher hooks the ball. I'm going to write that down here.
Okay.
This is a great idea. I think for the hook idea, this is a strong entry. And while we're
Hmm.
still trying to just get as many ideas as we can, we'll just move on to the next one.
Sure.
So, I love the hook idea, honestly. Okay, so other additions, other little fancy things. Bargain Bin Bastard said, "What if it could open in the middle? Like, what if it could pop open into two pyramids?" I think that's strong. Um, yeah, if you solve the puzzle box, like let's say the trophy's inside, and if you can solve the puzzle box of the ball, you win the game. Um, I like that. Good, just gonna write puzzle. Everyone will know what that means. We've already done this for 40 minutes somehow, which is absurd to me. Okay. Uh, yeah. Maybe. What do you think about material? I'm hearing the chat request like that it's magnetic. I think
Hmm.
that could be strong. But then also like there's other metal on the field. Maybe that makes it difficult. I don't know.
Well, if we're embracing the blood sport aspect, something hard and hard to manage, might be interesting if it was metal or wood, or like the really hard plastic, like the kind you leave your fingerprints all over all the time. Um, Trying to think of other dangerous materials.
Yeah. Like. I
Like
mean, it could be
rock,
something.
like if it was formed by tribes of people working the land.
Wait. What was the first word?
Like rock, like if it was hewn
Rock,
from
yeah.
stone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people already call it the Rock. I like that actually. I think it's. I might have to like maybe they're all the Rock. I feel like they all should be made out of rock.
Okay.
Maybe that means that you can't go inside of it. I don't know. I think rock is a very strong contender. Uh, Great. Okay. Well, if we only have like 15 minutes left, do we want
Mhm.
to circle back to our big list, or do we want? I think we can just keep going on the ball. Do you have any like helmet ideas just off the top of your head? Like, what are you thinking we should do? Chat, do
I
you have
think
any?
that
You talk. You talk.
yeah, let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat. See if there's any more of these final ideas, because I think that a lot of variables depend on each other. So
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
the ball material, is going to influence. What if you get hit by the ball? What do you need to be hit by the ball? How do you hit each other? All that kind of thing.
Oh, it'll be
Um,
really hard to throw a rock ball. That's something I'm noticing. People are saying maybe it's half one material, half another. I think this could also change
mhm.
region by region. I'm really stuck on the regional idea. I think
I
football
also
should be
am.
a sport that changes when you go from one state to another. Like in Indiana, they've got a
Mhm.
ball that's, I don't know, like carbon fiber, and then you go to Illinois,
Mhm.
and they've got I don't know, theirs is made out of recycled cigarettes, and
Yeah, and if you go to Iowa, it's just like a little like crab apple.
yeah, maybe the size changes too. I like that. I like that.
Mhm.
So I feel like
Mhm.
we're gonna have to make a bunch of balls. I guess that's one thing we can do is let's just start knocking out some regional balls. Uh,
Regional balls. Yeah.
Regional balls. Chat, if you have ball idea for your region or a region out there, just let me know, and we will incorporate it into our system.
Hmm.
I'm on the back burner. I'm thinking about how uniforms can change things about We're clearly gonna have to do this again. Like we have so many ideas. This is gonna take so much work to
Hmm.
bring our vision to life, but I think we're gonna get there. Um,
Hmm.
different balls for different regions. Uh, Arby says we should go all in with corporate sponsorships. Procter and Gamble logo printed on the rock. Yeah, the rock you could print. I mean, there's 8 surfaces if it's hard surfaces. Um, Weekend Warlock says Massachusetts ball is a crushed car, 1 foot square cube, like a car crushed down into a rock.
Hmm.
Super good. The Ohio ball plays Devo the entire time. Yeah, it's like one of those like JVS speakers.
Uh-huh.
Love it.
Now, here's a question though: is that I feel like if the ball changes so profoundly from state to state, are the teams going to be able to play each other in any kind of meaningful way?
See, that's why we need parameters. I think there can only be certain things that
I
change, and I think there should be like a weight class maybe. Well, Super
was
Jazz
about to
just
say
says
the
no.
weight.
Like maybe maybe we can make it happen, but I don't know. I think the shape should be the same. Um,
I also believe in this shape being the
mhm.
same.
Well, yeah, we have a Dr. Zayas in the chat says the Danish Football League uses a ball made out of Lego blocks. Fantastic. And the players have to be barefoot. I don't know enough about the Danish to know if those are jokes about the Danish. I'm sorry.
That is
Um,
where Lego was made, was in Danish.
I believe it. Is barefoot legal in Danish? But yeah, see, yeah, it's a sport for the people. You can represent your culture and
Mm-hmm.
your regional fare in your rules, I
Hmm.
think. This is the
Hmm.
beauty of
I
football
think this is
too.
true. Yeah, that it can truly be a new world sport.
I think it can. I think it will be able to rival football 1, which is soccer. Um,
Hmm.
and so I think we're going to give them a run for their money. I'm excited to get into the next Olympics. I'm sure it's pretty easy. You just send a form, right? Um,
Yeah, it's a lot of paperwork. That's what deters most people.
that's why we have
Is like
Sheeta. Actually, no, that's my job.
permission.
Most of the C2 stuff is me whenever it comes to paperwork. Um,
That's true.
but we got to make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think we're kind of coming up on a good stopping point, maybe, actually. Do you have any closing
Hmm.
thoughts about football 2, football 1? Uh, what your ideal vision of any of what we've talked about is?
Yeah, I mean, this. I feel like this is an exciting industry to be in right now because a lot of people are very unhappy, and I feel like this is a wonderful opportunity to provide happiness and entertainment to each other with each other.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think we can really put some smiles on faces out there. I think this is what
I
people are
think
missing.
that's what it's about, isn't it? About putting smiles on faces.
What is what about?
All of this,
Yeah,
just
why
any.
else would we do it? Why else do you want to see a bone crunching tackle or a really nice spiral pass?
Hmm.
It's because you want to smile, you want to be filled with wonder, and that's what we're doing
Yeah.
here. So we will use sports science to make that happen one day. Uh,
Hmm.
keep your eyes peeled for more of this. We're gonna hopefully do this more. If this wasn't just the most insane thing you've seen. Okay. And then we do have another thing coming up very soon. We're gonna debut a new show on cable too. Does the chat
I'm
have any
excited.
final statements on football? You want to speak your mind before we bounce?
Yeah, I can just read this down. Fun fact, it costs $400 to nominate someone for a single Webby Award. So that's exciting. There could be a card collection system. Card traders can battle each other. What if the game was a punishment for criminals? After today, I think that's a really strong idea. Someone is saying on each team, someone roams around trying to snipe the ball with a real gun. I think that relates back to the criminals point. And then also people are excited about the new show that's coming up.
Yeah. So yeah, 8 p.m. We're gonna debut a new show here in a second. We're gonna go dark for a second so I can get it set up, and then we'll come back. And then after that, we have Fantasy Flight, the triumphant return of Fantasy Flight season 2. So
So trying.
everybody, keep your butts in your chairs and stay right here. So thank you so
Don't
much
go
for
anywhere.
joining us in the experimental gymnasium. Everyone say goodbye to these guys. We all know these guys. Yeah, thank you for your work. Everyone, thank them. They're working so hard. They're working for our future. Um,
Yes.
so, all right, I guess that's our sign off, and we'll be right back.
Good night.
Goodbye. How do I turn myself off? There we go. Hello, hi. I am your host on the red carpet. You know this one. Outside of Cable Two headquarters, which is like 100 yards away from the Cable Two football field, and I'm about to bring over the man of the hour, director extraordinaire, Mitch Mitchell. Give me a second. It's going to take some machinery. Give me one. Give me a second. Oh no, how do I do this? You do that. And then, Mitch, where are you? Okay. You know, there's always technical difficulties with these things. Weird. Give me 1 second. I can see Mitch right here, and I don't know why I can't show you Mitch. Give me a second. Oh no, I'm gonna disappear again. Give me 1 second. No, we're just gonna roll with it. I can figure this out. I'm sorry that you're watching me do this, but soon you will see my friend Mitch, and then we will watch Mitch's wonderful show. This might get weird. Okay, fantastic. But what's gonna happen? I know, but it's okay because this is our friend Mitch right here. You got to see how the sausage is made, and then no, it's not. It didn't work. There you go. So confusing. I'm so sorry, Mitch. Give me 1 second. I don't know how to do it. I don't know why it's being so weird. I've never used Zoom this way is one issue. There's two of me. This is embarrassing. This is a skit. Give me 1 second. Many apologies. I don't even want to look at what the chat's doing right now. I feel like I'm going to be roasted. Sure. Everyone loves a good goof. I don't know. I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you, Mitch. I think that might be one of the issues. Stop screen share. There we go. I will find you easily now. What the hell? This is our friend Mitch. Mitch, can you say some words? Maybe we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, that's our friend Mitch. Okay. Well, you are a white screen right now. That is not... Why? Just don't understand. Okay, I don't think this is gonna work. So, I guess without further ado, Mitch, I'm so sorry. I mean, here, yeah, I don't know. Do you want to say some words? Do you want to introduce it while you're not on screen? Here, we'll use a football guy to stand in for you. 1 second.
Yeah, get the football guys. That's the same effect.
Yeah, these 6 men are my friend Mitch. Mitch Mitchell is a wonderful video artist and funny guy in Chicago, Illinois. And yeah, Mitch, what are we about to watch? Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, so this is the premiere of the season 2 of the Mitch Mitchell Variety Hour. Season 1 came out a really long time ago, and then I was sort of just on a hiatus, and it occurred to me that I would like to do the Variety Hour again. So that's how we got here today.
Fantastic. Yeah, and I guess without further ado, I'm just gonna go put it on. Everyone in the chat is going hog wild. Everybody give it up for our friend Mitch Mitchell and his Variety Hour. I'm going to disappear, and then it will be the Mitch Mitchell Variety Hour. Yeah. Can you still hear me? Okay, Mitch, don't... I'm going to mute you, so you won't be able to talk to me while this plays, just so you know.
Okay, good. Pat's Blue Husney. Oh god, I had the weirdest dream. I dreamed we were doing the Variety Hour again. Oh shit, hey, welcome to season 2 of the Mitch Mitchell Variety Hour. We are finally here.
lot has changed since season 1, and I'm so excited to show you. And people have been clamoring for season 2. But due to some legal issues, we were on a bit of a forced hiatus. We were actually right in the middle of shooting the cold open, which was a Jeopardy-type segment that pit my husband and my ex-wife against each other. Part of the legal battle was that we were suing Jeopardy for stealing our intellectual property, so I cannot show that footage. But I can roll the clip that changed the course of Variety Hour history forever. Oh, sorry. Let me take this really quick. Sorry, just one moment. Hey, what the fuck is up, motherfucker?
Mr. Mitchell, you know who this is?
Angela?
No, it's your landlord, the head honcho, Hernie Vascomancho.
Oh, hey, Hernie, what's up, dog?
Well, for starters, where's your rent money, Mitch?
I sent it to you. I had my talking VCR Bonky send it over. Right, Bonky? Where's Bonky?
Bonky? There's not supposed to be any Bonky living there, Mitch. I've looked at your lease agreement. It's just supposed to be you and your cat over there. And I'm not even talking about just this month's rent. I'm talking about the last 4 months, Mitch. I haven't received anything from you except for about $36 and a VHS copy of The Son-in-Law.
It's a good movie.
It is not a good movie.
Listen, okay, I will drop what I'm doing right now and I will come down there and I will get you your rent check. Just give me like 30 minutes, okay?
Mitch, I'm sorry. You're going to have to move out of the studio right now, right? Just this second, right now.
What? Even if I pay you the money? Why?
I mean, I like you. I really do. But you're the worst tenant I ever had in my whole entire life. You violated your lease every which way.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Furby clause, Mitchell. It clearly states in your lease we only accept cats, dogs, and Tamagotchis on a case-by-case basis with a deposit.
Furbies? I don't know what you're talking about.
Mitch, you got a shitload of Furbies over there. If I didn't know you from Adam, I saw you walking down the street, I get one look and a half a whiff of you. I'd say that's a gentleman right there, lives in a big steaming pile of Furby scat.
Well...
Look, they're cute, God knows it, but they've pissed and shit all over that studio, and I'm never gonna get the smell out.
I don't know what you mean.
You didn't get them fixed is probably the problem. Everybody knows if you don't fix a Furby before they reach sexual maturity, they turn aggressive and they start to spray. My cousin in Florida got mauled by a Furby. This big old blue and pink bastard ate his eyes. When animal control came and humanely shot him in the face, they found out, sure enough, unaltered couple of apricots back there made him mean.
Can I please just stay here for a little while longer?
No. You gotta vacate immediately so I can start fumigating.
Please, sir. Episode 4 of the Variety Hour just started. Getting kicked out right now. It's gonna kind of change things up, kind of mess with the whole format. Can we please just keep going for a little while longer?
No dice. Get out of there, Mitch!
Okay. You heard the man, let's pack it up. So yeah, we got evicted. But that's how we ended up here. This is the new Mitch Mitchell Variety Hour desk, and it's starting to feel like home. Some other changes took place too. My voice is a little bit deeper. I have new pronouns and a brand new slur. And I also decided to get sober. I had a little bit of a thing going on.
Burgeoning alcoholism yellow.
What the fuck is up, motherfuckers? So yeah, I've been sober for over 2 years now. I kind of just smoke weed and mind my own business. But I learned that there are a lot of really fun ways to get fucked up without doing drugs or smoking alcohol. Try one of these if you want to get really blasted out of your skull.
I saw
which brings me to our word of the day, sponsored by Topo Chico. Today's word of the day is physical intimacy with casual strangers. And when you hear the word of the day, scream real loud.
What? No! 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 What? Seriously? Oh, no! Damn! Nothing works out, man. Nothing! Wife love me. Wife love me. Lost a job at Radio Shack. Well, I got a job at Radio Shack. Then I lost a job at Radio Shack in the same day. I didn't even need a Chicago dog. I just needed a regular hot dog. I didn't even need the onions or the tomatoes. I just needed a regular hot dog.
Why are you crying?
Came for a hot dog and they closed.
We've been closed for the last month, sir.
Oh, sorry I didn't get the newsletter.
You weren't there for National Free Hot Dog Day on our last day. We announced that we were gonna
My
close.
wife took me to the divorce court the day out.
Look. My hot dog days are over. I'm not gonna go back in that kitchen.
You gotta have at least one hot dog left. You gotta do something for me. You gotta do something.
I might have something for you. Hold on. Don't ever say I didn't take care of you, bud. Have a good one.
I didn't want ketchup.
Thanks so much for joining the Season 2 premiere of the Mitch Mitchell Variety Hour. Much to the dismay of my parents, lawyers, YouTube executives, local aldermen, spiritual leaders, and my landlord, we are back, baby. See you next time.